Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Okay, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this
First Saturday.
You getting all nervous over there.
Saturday.
You got a twitch over there on October the 7th. Is October, it's one of my favorite months.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on in October.
Yeah, but the weather,
Yeah.
I like the weather. You know, I don't know what Nate's doing this weekend. I'm about run out of names for hurricanes.
I always count October as tune-up month. This should be the month you should be tuning up equipment.
And not only that, there's fall festivals everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's one today, I understand, in Whiteville, Tennessee. I got invited to.
One in Olive Branch, too.
There's one in Olive Branch. And next Saturday is the Ames Plantation Fall
Oh,
Festival.
good.
So
That's,
there's
that's where I'm going. I knew it's up on the 15th.
It's next
14th.
Saturday. Yeah, the
14th, yeah.
next Saturday. And, of course, there's a good place you can go if you wanted to go. How about going to Gaston's White River Resort up near Lakeview, Arkansas, because October is spectacular, not only for the
He can say them big words.
I can say that big word, not only for the
He's an editor.
yeah, I'm an editor, not only for the foliage and things along that line, but though I'm a little concerned this year with the great fishing, and we got Ron Branaman on from when they built when Al Gaston built that resort, Ron was in a cabin when he built it. You know, they just built the walls around
him, yeah.
Is that right, Ron?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I started when I was 3.
When he was 3. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah. And they
Come
couldn't
a long way.
Tried to change his diaper, but he was running around too fast.
Oh,
you know,
man.
That's right.
So. All right, let's.
Depends.
That depends. That's right. Yeah. Hey, Ron, buddy, this has been a dry spell for us, and I'm looking at a lot of folks that want to go to Gaston's in October, and I know we're going to talk fishing in just a second, but what do you think about the foliage this year in your area because of such dryness? Y'all did get some rain recently, though, that we haven't got, I think.
Well, we got a little bit, Larry. I don't know if we got enough, and you're right, it has been dry here, too. We've had a lot of leaves falling since about August, I think.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know what that color is going to be like. I think the maple trees will probably be pretty. They usually are, but, boy, the oak trees and that type of thing, I've been blowing leaves out of my gutter since August, I think.
Which is
so I don't know what it's going to be like, to be honest with you, but it'll still be pretty. I just don't know if it'll be as pretty as it usually is because it has been dry, and I don't know just how big of a part that plays in it. I've read all sorts of stories what causes those leaves to turn. I don't know if I've ever figured it out yet, but anyway, if they're not on the trees, they're not going to turn very good.
No, and if they're blowing off the trees,
turn loose.
Of course, we know that the river will be flowing away in October.
Fishing's been great. The river's running. They're running just about the right amount of water. Of course, they finally got the lake pumped down. We hit Power Pool yesterday or the day before.
Oh, really?
So they got everything back to normal, which is good. They're still running anywhere from 3 to 4 units just about every day. I'm sure they're going to try and get the lake down for the winter time for spring rains. But the water conditions have been good. The fishing's been great. And the weather's just been gorgeous, and I'm sure you're having the same type of thing, 60 degrees in the morning, 80 in the afternoon. So nobody's complaining about the weather.
And I know that at this time of the year, October, what are we looking at as far as fishing styles?
They're doing a lot of different things with that type of water. We've had low water in the morning, not real low, but like 2 generators. So the fly fishermen are still getting out there. There's not much wading water going on the White River, but just drifting with San Juan worms and egg patterns and beadhead jigs, a pink jig or a white jig has been real productive. On this type of water, the spoon fishing's been really good.
Good, yeah.
Throwing the little 1/6-ounce buoyant red and gold spoon, the little Cleo spoons, rooster tails, panther martins, that type thing's been good. In the afternoon, they'll pick up that power a little bit, 5 or 6 generators on some afternoons if it gets a little bit warm, especially on Mondays and throughout the week when schools are going, everything's operating, the power demand gets up a little bit. when that water gets up like that, then you can go to throwing that Rogue and that Countdown Rapala.
Oh, yeah.
Try and catch some bigger fish. We did have a 21-pound brown caught this past week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday.
21 pounds.
21 pounds.
How long was that thing? Do you know?
I'm not sure just what the length was, and they did throw it back, and
I bet a splash.
I bet it was in the 30 inches
It
somewhere.
had to
that's
be.
for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, golly. And what'd they catch that on? You know?
I'm not sure. To
Oh,
be honest
come on.
with
That's
you.
one of those secrets,
If
huh?
the water was up the day
Yeah.
they caught it, so they probably caught that fish on a stick bait more than likely, or maybe a jig. They're starting to do some jig fishing now too.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Throwing an 1/8-ounce jig, sometimes black, brown, sometimes white. The black and brown jigs are working better right now. We won't start using that white so much until we start getting the shad kill later on this winter. But the river's in great shape. The game and fish have got a lot of fish in the river, and you can catch a lot of good pound and a half rainbows. And they're catching a lot of brook trout this year. We've had a lot of brook trout being caught. Game and Fish apparently put some in the river back in the spring, and some of these brookies are 1.5 pound, 2 pound fish, and they're gorgeous fish.
Wow. Yeah. And again, we're talking to Ron Branaman, general manager at Gaston's White River Resort.
I've got a question for Ron.
You got a all right.
When during the course of the day, as they kick generators on up the dam, how much will your water fluctuate? It
can fluctuate for every generator. It can fluctuate a couple feet.
Oh, okay.
It just depends on how much they kick on. I would say probably a couple feet easy if they kick on 1 or 2 generators, and fortunately they don't kick them all on at once.
Yeah, that's
30, 40 years ago they used to do that, and it was a little bit of a dangerous situation. But they stair-step it now, which has really made things a lot safer. And back in the old days, they might turn on 5 or 6 at one shot, and if you're downriver wading in it, you better
get out.
Careful.
Get out of the way. And also, I know
get out of the way.
Yeah, and you guys, with your guides, they know they're talking to the Corps and all. They know when certain things are. They can look and tell. I can't a lot of times. They said, "Well, the river's coming up."
Oh yeah, and they're good policemen on the river. They save a lot of people and from getting into a dangerous situation, and they'll warn a lot of people. Some people have anchors out a little too long, and of course on high water you don't want to try and throw an anchor out in the river. Or if that river's coming up, they'll go by the boat and tell them, hey, the water's coming up, better get your anchors in, and most of them will heed the warning.
And I know a lot of times this is a special time in October. We always love to talk to Ron at this time of the year because folks, if you're planning a trip, they've got everything up there. They got the trails, which is I love the trails. They've got all sorts of the tennis courts and things along that line. But I still recommend go to Gaston's. If you've never been to Gaston's, if you've been someplace else, you need to go. Go to Gaston's because not only is it a great facility with 72 pink cabins or whatever it might be, but
we got about 40 of them with fireplaces, Larry.
Yeah.
And we put the firewood out last week.
All right. Now that's and the guides. Ron, you recommend a lot. These people can't just come up there. If they've been to nothing against the Little Red, it's entirely different. You go to the White River, take a little extra time, save a little money, and have an experience with a guide. And you guys have some of the best guides there is.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the first time on the White River, it's a good idea to get a guide and learn a little bit about what to do on certain water conditions and how to stay out of harm's way. And it'll help them out a lot. It'll make their next trip even a little bit better. And if they're running a lot of water, if you're running that motor and trying to control the boat, it's hard to actually fish. So you're getting a lot more fishing time if you got somebody running that motor for you.
That's right. Well, tell our listeners how to get in touch with you guys.
You bet. Phone for reservations is 870-431-5202. If you got some questions and want to email us, it's gastons@gastons.com. If you want to just look us over on your computer, www.gastons.com.
They got that drone flying around. You feel like you're right there on top of the cabins. But we've come a long way, haven't we, Ron?
We've come a long way, and I've been here 40 years. I think you've been coming about that long, haven't you?
Yeah. Now, we used to send telegrams to each other. Western Union over there and Pony Express.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
when we all started, like I said, I I was 3. You were probably 5.
No, I was 6. I was 6, Ron. I didn't want to fudge on it or anything. Thank you, buddy. Tell everybody hello for us.
Have a great day.
We'll see you soon. All right. Ron Branaman over at Gaston's White River.
I thought you found the resort when you was going up the White River on that whiskey boat.
No, that was when my I broke my shear pin on one of them, and I ended up at Gaston's.
Okay.
No, I did do that one time in the old days. I don't even think they have those anymore. But you do need to have a guide. I know it's expensive, but if you put 3 people in a boat and they can cover 3 easily.
But like Ron said, guide, if you've never been there, then if you want to fish, have a guide.
Yeah. And and those guys work.
Yeah.
You may think, well, they own their motor, I think, or maybe one of their boats, but they make their money off tips and things along that line. And you get in a boat and you think about it, and I always thought a guide had a great life, but they got some people in their boat they don't want to have for 6 hours.
Oh, you guide. You may think it's a great life, but
dealing
I know
with
back
people.
in the days when I used to help, waterfowl guides and stuff.
Yeah, you know that for a
fact. At the end of a 60-day season, you're going, is this ever going to be over?
And then also they'll say, well, why aren't we killing birds? I thought you said birds would be here. Well, there's no magic thing about that. We need to talk to McAdams about that sometime because he's been around 40 years also. But Ron Branaman, Gaston's White River Resorts, that's 870-431-5204. Or you can go to lroutdoors.com and find out more information. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and we hope to hook up with Dale Sanders, the gray-beard adventurers, if he has a signal on the Appalachian Trail. On Outdoors with Larry Ray.
On the mountain.
The sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty